Okay, before we get into inputting media into Premiere, let's talk about importing cards from cameras, SD cards, CF cards, footage that was recorded uh, through cameras into external hard drives. There's all kinds of different setups these days. But we never want to import that media into Premiere directly from these cards because all Premiere imports into the program is what's called a clip, which is a pointer, like a shortcut that points to the media, not the actual media itself. So it's very important to copy the contents of those cards from the camera to the hard drive before importing them into Premiere. And I want to show you why that's important. If we take a look here, we've got two different types of cards that we've already copied to the hard drive here from different cameras. The first one is a Canon DSLR SD card, and I just created a folder and I named it this so I know what it was. And let's look inside of it. Now you see there's a whole bunch of folders here and different information that comes directly off the card. Some of it, even though there's nothing inside the folders, is still needed because Premiere recognizes the structure of the card, the folder structure, as being an SD card and then reads the card appropriately. Like there's nothing inside this miscellaneous folder. But then when you go inside the DCIM folder, then there's two more folders here. Inside this folder here, there is what's called a metadata file. That's information about the different photos and videos that are shot, what lens was used, how long they are, all sorts of information there that Premiere needs to read. And then inside this folder is the actual files themselves. There's JPEGs, which are stills that were shot by the camera, and the .mov files, which are H.264 QuickTime movies. Okay. Now, this is a totally different structure down here for the Panasonic P2 card. That's a different camera and a different card. You'll see here's a contents folder that's inside, and then here there's all of these folders. Now, if we look at the audio, there's all these different audio files, MXF files, peak files. Okay. There's clip with these are all XML and XMP. This is metadata information about the lens that was used, all kinds of information that came from the camera itself. These are BMP files that are icons for the files. This is proxies empty. Video contains more MXF files and more peak files. This is the video information, but again, if you were just to import this directly into Premiere, it would not play back correctly. And again, this voice folder is empty. But again, Premiere needs this entire folder structure to be able to put all of this information together and be able to assemble this correctly inside of Premiere. So it's very important to create these folders. I just created this folder, named it Panasonic P2 card, and then I went to the actual card itself, which contained all of this information. I didn't try to copy each one of these individually. I just go inside and get the contents and do a copy, and then I come in here to actually my hard drive where I had this and went in there and pasted it into there. So the entire folder structure that's inside here was then copied over to the hard drive. Okay? So that's very important to be able to do before you start importing things into Premiere.